What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing today? I hope you're excited because we're back with another top 5 trending Young Guns video, this time for the month of January 2025. Yes, the first top 5 trending Young Guns video of the year. If you guys are excited, make sure you smash that like button. It really helps me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's completely free. Change your mind anytime. Comment down below anyone I may have missed on this list. It's possible I missed someone. Let me know down in the comments below some Young Guns I may have missed. Follow us over on Instagram at ArcSportsCards. As per usual, guys, this is not financial advice. Please invest in sport cards at your own risk. Also, all graphs will be courtesy of Sport Card Investor, not a sponsor or anything, for base Young Guns in PSA 10 condition. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the top 5 Young Guns trending for January 2025. All right, kicking us off here at number 5 is someone I was actually kind of surprised to see trending because he's kind of had an up and down year, but it's Kirby Doc of the Montreal Canadiens. Now, Kirby Doc, obviously coming off 2 major injuries that have really impacted his career and his growth. But as of recently, he's kind of turned it on lately, and the Habs have been an absolute wagon over the last month and a bit. So I understand why it's trending. I was just kind of surprised to see it over some other guys like Caulfield and Suzuki. I kind of expected them to be trending more, but it looks like Kirby Doc is currently trending more than those two. Taking a look at his stats, you can see he's not having the greatest of years. 16 points in 44 games, which isn't anything to write home about, but 7 of those points have come in the last 10 games. He's really benefited from Patrick Laine coming into the lineup. He's playing on that second line with Laine and Newhook, and they've looked spectacular together. If they can keep it up, maybe this young Guns can stay trending. I honestly don't think it's likely. I think he maybe drops back off after this. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think this Habs lightning run's going to last forever. Take a look at his graph here. You can see about a month ago, one PSA 10 Young Guns sold for 36 US, and one recently sold for as high as 85 US. Now that 85 could definitely be a spike sale, but this graph, it looks like a continued trend upwards. There was another sale there for 49 US. Honestly, Kirby Doc and the Montreal market, the big market teams like Montreal and Toronto, when they get hot, their Young Guns get hot, and Kirby Doc is no exception to that. Even though he hasn't had the greatest year, his Young Guns is trending. I think it's a good selling opportunity because I don't know if this continues. I don't know if Montreal's run continues. I don't know if Kirby Doc's good play continues. I'm very, very hesitant, but as a Habs fan, I would love to see it continue. Up next, number 4 on this list is someone I wouldn't hate buying at all. Now, I think he's going to be a generational player. Jack Hughes, the New Jersey Devils, I think will be one of the league's top scorers in a couple of years and be a consistent 100-point player if he's not already, I guess. I guess he's never reached 100 points, but he's been around it. I think he got 99 one year. But Jack Hughes is trending again. The reason he's lower on this list because when you look at all the graphs I have here on this list, this is the one graph where it's like, okay, I could see that definitely being a spike sale. We'll take a look at the graph here in a bit, but first let's look at his stats. Jack Hughes is on pace for another monster season with 55 points here through 47 games this season, honestly, and I like Jack Hughes a lot more this year than I did last year. Last year, with Jack Hughes in New Jersey not really being in the playoff hunt, I thought that hurt his value a lot and his ceiling a lot, but with New Jersey being in pretty much a for sure playoff spot unless they absolutely crap out, I really like Jack Hughes because he is their franchise guy, right? Like, if New Jersey were to go on and run in the playoffs, Jack Hughes would be getting most of the attention, and he's a first overall pick on top of it. I just think Jack Hughes' Young Guns has a great chance to go up if New Jersey were to go on a run. So I'm sure you guys are excited to see Jack Hughes' graph with my description earlier where I think this is a spike sale. The difference between this graph and Doc's graph was a steady stream upwards. This one, there's sales jumping all over the place, one up, one down, one up, one down, and then one really high one as of recently at 223 USD. But I still wanted to include it on this list because it is trending, and Jack Hughes I think is a good buying opportunity still. Like, even if this was a spike sale, I think this Jack Hughes is a good buying opportunity because even if Jack Hughes doesn't go up this season, he's that franchise player, he's that generational player, he's a first overall pick. He gets a lot of attention, especially with his brothers in the league. So I think it's even a good buy for years other than this year. So I just wanted to include it on this list. We'll make you guys aware. All right, up next at number 3, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't watch a ton of Leafs hockey. I'm sure some of you do. So let me know down in the comments below if I'm right with this. At number 3 is Mitch Marner of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I feel like Marner, out of all like the Leafs core 4, you got Tavares, you got Matthews, you got Nylander. I think Marner's been by far the most consistent this season. He's just been putting up numbers after numbers every night, and I think his Young Guns is trending for that reason. Matthews has missed a lot of time this year, but it hasn't slowed down Marner whatsoever. Marner has 62 points over 46 games, and I did the calculation. He's on pace for 110 points, which would smash his career high. His first time getting 100 points in his career. So I understand why it's trending, and of course, he's in that big market like Kirby Doc, where Toronto, everything is seen. when a guy is playing good, his young guns are going to go up. That's usually how it works. And Mitch Marner seems like he's been the best player on the Toronto Maple Leafs this season, and his young guns is trending because of that. Take a look at his graph here. We can see one sold last month for as low as 210 US, and one sold this month for as high as 259 US. That is a slight increase, and I think that continues to grow if his play continues to be like it has been all year. And I always say this with Toronto cards, they always have a chance to absolutely explode if Toronto were to ever go on a run. They've only made it out of the first round once in the past 20 years, and their cards went up then. And I think even if they went to the conference finals, I think Marner, Matthews, as long as they're playing well across the board, Leafs cards I think would go up. So I never hate buying Leafs cards because I think they'll always just have value as long as they're playing for the team. All right, coming in next at number 2 is an absolute specimen of a human. I don't know how he went through the injury he did and is still playing like he did early in the year. Alexander Ovechkin of the Washington Capitals has just been outerworldly this season, and the Washington Capitals in general look like a real cup contender, and I think that's crazy to say. I did not pick them at all to even like make the playoffs, but they've really turned things around in Washington, and Ovechkin's play is a big part of it. I think he's like 22 goals away from the record now, so I think the closer and closer he gets to the record, the more his young guns continues to trend. We'll have to wait and see if he can break it this year. That'd be great. I think he's on pace to, but we'll take a look at the stats now. Looking at the stats, he is on pace to break the record this season. I think he only needs 22 more goals, and he has 21 goals in 29 games played this season. Of course, missed a lot of the time with that injury, but like I said, Ovechkin, I think his cards will have value forever, maybe, if he's like the NHL leader in goal scoring. So I wouldn't hate to buy Ovechkin before he gets closer and closer to the record, but he is pretty high right now as is, so maybe now is not a great time to buy. Ovechkin's weird finding the right time to buy and sell his cards right now because he's getting closer and closer to the record, but who knows when his card's going to peak, right? Take a look at his graph now. You can see about a month ago, one sold for 5,000 USD for PSA 10 Young Guns, and one sold for as high as 5,852 USD recently, and that is a pretty significant increase. I think the closer and closer Ovechkin gets to the record, I think his Young Guns continues to trend, but I could see his Young Guns topping out maybe before the record is achieved, maybe when he's like 5 goals off or something. It's finding the right time to sell, I think, because maybe after the record it might dip off a bit. We'll have to wait and see. I honestly don't really know what to expect. This is kind of new territory for me. So basically wait and see with Ovechkin. I think any answer is great with his cards because I think he'll have long-term value no matter what. All right, and number 1 pick for the trending young guns of January 2025. I have to make a disclaimer. I am incredibly biased with this number 1 pick. Lane Hudson of the Montreal Canadiens has been on absolute fire during their little run as of late, and it's crazy what he's doing. It is absolutely crazy. He is top 5 in defenseman scoring, and he's a rookie. If you guys haven't looked at what Lane Hudson's PSA 10 Young Guns are selling for right now, take a look at the graph when we get there. It is nuts how much they're selling for. Lane Hudson is an undersized rookie defenseman, is playing almost 30 minutes a night, and he has 36 points in 44 games as a defenseman. That is absolutely insane production. That is like elite production from a defenseman, and as a Habs fan, I cannot be more excited for the future of this team. And Lane Hudson looks like a superstar. He looks like he's going to be a top 5 offensive defenseman in the NHL, and I couldn't be more happier with that for my fandom, but I couldn't be more happier with that for his cards as well. So let's take a look at the graph now. When I first saw this graph, I was shocked. I did not realize they were going for this much. I couldn't believe it, but the more I thought about it, the more it kind of made sense. One last month sold for 313 US. One sold recently for as high as 560 US dollars. That is crazy. I understand the hype. I understand why it's trending, like because he's in a big market, he's a big time offensive defenseman, but these are like Cale Makar prices. Like Cale Makar, I checked, one recently sold for like 600 US, a PSA 10, like in that range area. So we're up to like Cale Makar status with these Lane Hudson cards. I don't think that's sustainable. Another thing, comparing him to like Makar's cards, for example, Makar's Young Guns has a way lower print run than these Hudson Young Guns would, I would think. So I don't think it stays at this price, but I also don't think it terribly tanks off either. I don't really know. I think it'd be a good time to sell Lane Hudson and maybe buy him in the off season sort of thing, because I don't know. Like, I don't think the Habs are going on a playoff run at anything this year. I think it's likely he can win Rookie of the Year and his Young Guns might spike up a bit, but honestly, Lane Hudson's a weird case. This is a weird list in general, and let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. Just remember that this is my list. It isn't the right list. Let me know in the comments below your list. If you have someone different on this trending Young Guns list, let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.